Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. I have two quick stories, and then I'm going to share with you something that I think is very interesting for the XRP holder. First, the New York regulator. This is the Department of Financial Services, the DFS. They have fast-tracked 10 different cryptocurrencies that have been put on the green list to custody. And of that list, you can see here the Binance USD coin is there, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, congratulations, Roger, Ethereum Classic, Ethereum, the Gemini Dollar, Litecoin, Bax Gold, PAXG. This one is a very interesting coin. It's asset backed by one fine troy ounce of gold, and the gold is stored in professional vault facilities to ensure that it is really backed, and it is selling today for $2,038.36. And then following that is the Paxos Standard, PAX, and XRP. So congratulations to everybody who has the projects in their portfolio that are on this elite list. And now I want to talk about something that I think you're going to find very interesting, because this is Dan Moorhead, and he's a very important VC in the Bay Area. He says that XRP is one of only a handful of crypto assets that are going to boast the long-term sustainability. Now, this group, Pantera, I have admired them for years, not because they have invested in Ripple, but because I have a close friend that's connected to their CFO. And they're a really smart, strong team. And Tony, who has the YouTube channel Thinking Crypto, he has had a real great year with hosting a lot of key people in this industry. And Mr. Moorhead went on to say, when Tony had him on his channel, that he thinks Ripple has done a great job and that they are one of the big enterprises in our business, and they have hundreds of engineers building out a lot of code and shipping code, and they're doing it in a little bit of a different way. And he goes on to say, I know there's lots of purists in our industry, and they get almost religious about, oh, it's not totally decentralized, or it's not whatever. It's the same thing with central bank coins. They're not decentralized, but we'll need that too, right? He goes on to say, I see a world where we have 8 or 10 really important blockchains 10 years from now, and XRP is going to be one of them. I'm telling you, this is a amazing statement from somebody who really, really, really knows this space. And Tony, keep up the great work, because everybody loves your interviews. Now here I'm going to get into some of the research I did. And I did it because Panos tweeted something very interesting. He says that he has this 100% confirmed email from Ripple citing Bank of America, dLocal, and Banorte Bank are key additions, meaning they are new key partners for RippleNet. And the Banorte Bank very much caught my attention. This bank is a subsidiary of the Grupo Financiero Banorte. They've been doing business for 121 years. And that Banorte Bank has 1,269 branches. It's one of the 4th largest commercial banks in Mexico by assets and loans. And in 2006, it acquired INB, International Bank in Texas, so that they could enter the U.S. banking market. I love their tagline. It is the strong bank in Mexico. Now, in 2004, they expanded with getting a very important alliance with Wells Fargo. And Wells Fargo did this alliance with Banorte to help them facilitate that corridor between the U.S. and Mexico. The strategy was to connect Mexican families living in both countries. And in 2004, Banorte had a remittance total annually of 600 million. I am just sure they have crushed that number by now. In 2006, it acquired UniTeller. This, I think, was a huge move because they did it for only 20 million USD. It seems like a steal because it was part of their strategy to tap into that growing remittance corridor between the US and Mexico. Think of how big that corridor is, and for them to get this company UniTeller for just 20 million, it seems like it was a steal. Now UniTeller, it operates 40 remittance companies and banks in the US and Canada. And on their website here, you can see that they process money transfers for Wells Fargo. And a year ago, they moved into some new offices in Austin, Texas, and the executives from Wells Fargo paid them a visit. So you can see they have a very, very strong relationship with them. Now, I want to play for you something that is with their CEO, who is talking to somebody at doing interviews at Money 2020 in March, and this took place in Singapore. And you're going to get an idea of what they're doing and where they're going. Have a quick listen to this.
Hello, it's Money 2020, and I'm very glad to meet you here, Alberto. Can you please introduce yourself and your company?
Hi, yes, my name is Alberto Guerra. I'm the CEO of UniTeller Financial Services. We are a US-based international remittance processor.
Oh, that's great. How about the event? Why you participate here?
Well, for us, it's important to be here. We're expanding into the Asia market, and finding here and visiting and meeting business partners and getting our name recognized here is very important.
So expanding into Asia, all right? We know they are super strong in Mexico, but where in Asia? Of course, the Philippines. This is where on-demand liquidity that uses the digital asset XRP is also so strong. And they are working with Ripple's banking partner, BDO. Now, take a look at this. Here is Alberto Guerra with his Senior Vice President of International Business Development, Oscar Moreno, and they were at Swell this last year. Now I want you to pay attention to the hashtags there. UniTeller, Ulink, cross-border payments, fintech, and Swell by Ripple. Let's take a look at what are they talking about Ulink. Well, this is their ulinkremit.com. This is so innovative. This offers phone reloads to Mexico and the Philippines. You can see just those two countries. Coincidence? Come on, guys. These are instant payments using a phone to their loved ones abroad. Now, how does that exactly work? Well, it is with an alliance that they formed with Paykey to do bill payments. And what I mean by that is if you are living in the US and you have family living in Mexico or the Philippines, you can pay those bills. What kind of bills? Well, the bills that might occur for your gas, electric, cable, water, phone. You can pay direct from the US so that you can take that worry out of the hands of the people who are living in your home country. With this new international bill pay service, it's easier for the customers to pay the expense for their loved ones back home. And introducing this service for the first time to individuals living in the US, Paykey's simple and secure cross-border bill pay platform will enable UniTeller and Ulink users to pay utility and government billers in Mexico and the Philippines. Guys, the Philippines and Mexico are the two most liquid XRP corridors right now. It is just no coincidence. And in this economic media we have here, El Financiero, they asked who is who in remittances. In other words, who is giving more pesos for their dollar? And they looked at different regions of the United States sending money back to Mexico. They looked at from the West Coast, from the North, from the South, from the East, and every single time Banorte was there alongside Pagaphone. And what's most interesting to me is that the two worst performing remittances were coming from Zoom and Western Union. And yeah, Western Union, you keep saying you don't need XRP. I think you better reconsider, because absolutely you are losing market share. And I'll prove that you are, because the family remittances are staying strong for Banorte. They are still showing strength, even in March, despite that worsening conditions for the migrant workers in the US labor markets. In fact, they had a 35.8% gain year on year. Unbelievable. So the CEO of UniTeller recently wrote that for many of these migrant families all over the world, remittances are a vital source of income and provide a financial lifeline for the communities. Low and middle income countries have grown rapidly in the past decade, and many families depend on these inflows to sustain their future. This financial inflow often lifts migrants and their families out of poverty, improve their access to healthcare and nutrition, and increase opportunities for education, housing, and entrepreneurship. Now, if we look at this study report, which was just so good, it's looking at Asia, and their findings were that for the family members, the OFW, these are overseas Filipino workers, for their family members, remittances are a huge worry. And you can see here that 41% of those family members are stressing over getting their money. Those that call XRP a banker's coin, they are so disconnected from the real world. I think that statement is arrogant, ignorant, and deplorable. So you really are out of touch with the real world. And here is that report. I think I've talked enough, so I'm not going to go into this report, but I can tell you it's one of the best remittance statistics analysis I've seen in a long time. Really, no exaggeration. This is good, but I think that I'll let you get to it in the link in the description below. Let's get to some fluff. So the blue bottle, this is an interesting story. There was a guy, James Freeman, and in 2002, that's when he actually founded the Blue Bottle Coffee. And it's interesting because he started to learn about the coffee culture here in Japan, which is really, really strong, and it's done in this French press manner, and it is slow and it takes time, and it is meant to really savor the moment of just slowing down, especially when you're in a big busy city like Tokyo, and having a cup of coffee. And that's one of the reasons why I think the coffee culture is so strong here, because it is a way to really find some peace and quiet, a moment of tranquility, if you will, because this city can be quite overwhelming. So he had the experience when he was doing his business trips here in Tokyo, and then he then came back over to Japan and founded the Blue Bottle Coffee Group. And now, just as of Friday on the 7th, they launched one of the first of 17,000 vending machines that are going to sell the blue bottle coffee. And this is in a kind of an arrangement with Mitsui Fudosan, which is the real estate company that manages a lot of parking lots in Japan. So that's why that when they did the deal, they now have the ability to place these vending machines in 17,000 parking lots throughout Japan, and it's going to sell the blue bottle coffee. And if you really want to see what it looks like in the real, this is it. This is the first one in Shibuya. And all of you know that Shibuya is my favorite part of Tokyo for many reasons. Shopping, eating, people watching, what have you. I love Shibuya. I'm just minutes away, and I am just so fortunate to be so close to Shibuya. And so what does it cost? Well, I was a little shocked. This little kind of baby can of coffee, can you guess? $6. $6. Oh, it's real high-end coffee. It tastes good, but wow, would you spend $6 for a can of coffee? And it's a baby can too. But if you're not gonna want to buy the can, you can buy some beans, or you can get something that's already served hot to you. I'm sure they're going to be successful. I'm going to guess that of all these products that will be available in the vending machine, the instant coffee, I don't think is going to be so popular. The coffee can, oh, I don't know. I think I would rate the hot cup of coffee is probably the bestseller, followed by the beans. What do you think? And if you do come to Tokyo, I'm going to tell you that I recommend going to the Blue Bottle Coffee in Shinagawa. And the reason why is because Shinagawa Station is in the inner portion, southwest section of the city. It's really in its core. It's also connected to Shinkansen, and it has these seats that you can view up above, one floor above, and watch more than 500,000 people a day go through this station. 500,000 people. That's it's not the busiest station in Tokyo, but I think it's, I don't know, number 3 or number 4. I'd have to look to be absolutely sure. I think Ikebukuro, Shinjuku, and Tokyo Station beat it. I think it's probably number 4. And they will warn you ahead of getting your cup of coffee. Can you wait? Because they do it slow. All right, everybody. Do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.